Welcome back to more Phoenix Wright Justice for All. In the last episode, we kind of almost got that guilty verdict, but... Oh, I knew it was going to be a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? I will punch you in the face. But I never thought in your desperation you tried to pin the guilt onto Adrian. I swear this demon will pay. Mr. Nick, Pearl, where's Mia? I don't know. A really strong power suddenly called her away. Really strong power. Oh, Mr. Nick, your phone is from Gumshoe. How's it going? Have you been hanging in there, pal? Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto. Phew, that's good, pal. And what about you? Anything yet? Have you figured out where the killer and Maya are? We still don't have any leads, but... What? We don't have any more time! We just had one. Even a single clue would be really helpful. I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, I've got to keep the trial going until Maya's been rescued. But have I just run out of luck this time? Is this all our hope for naught? A tent! Huh? A tent? I could see a circus tent. But Mia! It looked like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So it was Maya that called you away. She's locked in a dusty little room right now, but I could see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away. Gumshoe? Is there a circus in town right now? There's only one, pal. The very big circus. Oh, wow. Maya's somewhere within a 300-foot radius of the main tent. What? Okay, hold on a sec, pal. Hey, draw a circle on that map. About a 300 feet radius from the main tent. Hurry! And I can see a mailbox under the window. Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox. Okay, what else? What else, Mia? I'm sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. Felt like I was in an old office building, maybe the 3rd floor or so. I heard her, an old office building. Good stuff, pal. Okay, just hang in there, just a little longer, pal. Wish us luck. Good luck. I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal? Maya's not hurt, right? She's in a pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's being starved. No, not alright, really. Court will now reconvince. The killer, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to the client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real criminal. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is who's guilty of murder. I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Of course I have. You have seen it before? That's right. It's only natural that the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to this bear's secrets? All right. Why does she... The bear figurine. Ole. I don't know where that came from. Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. At its center is a small cavity, just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. I actually thought that when I played this game, it was just like some emo guy cutting a bear. So this figurine, it's a container of sorts, is it? Yes, looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree? Yes, this is superb craftsmanship. Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Gee, thanks for really forgetting about me. Or us. An elaborate puzzle. A puzzle? That's right. But it looks like an ordinary figurine. True enough. To people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess this was a puzzle. So what kind of puzzle is this exactly? I was clicking that like 8 times. So you can take it apart? And how would one go about doing that? Well, first you turn its tail to the right and then push it in. Oh, yes, I see. After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed. Oh, this is most interesting. A boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again. Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on. I think he's lost it. So what do you do after you take the puzzle apart? And how do you know about this? I know because I was the one who bought it. Huh? It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland. Then this was a present from you? That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for Juan. So it was a present for Miss Andrews. Witness, let's continue with the testimony. So who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the 2 of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland, so I doubt there are many people with the same bear in this country. But this looks like it can be easily broken, especially if someone wanted to get what was inside. Well, it's a toy, but it can never be the same once it's been broken. Who else knows that this bear is actually a small container or jewelry box? I never told anyone. As long as Juan never told anyone either, but only the 2 of us knew. 2 of you, huh? Then of course that means Mr. Angarde didn't know, right? Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize that there is one very important fact we have uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box. Now that we have agreed to this point, there's only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What is inside this box? What's inside? That's right. That's what we are going to find out next, witness. Yes? You're the only one who could open this. Please. I've opened it. Is this what you wanted? What is that? It looks like a note. I don't think we need to guess what this is, do we, Mr. Wright? It's the suicide note. The suicide note. The suicide note left by Juan Corradia's former manager, Celestia Impax. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts. But as we just suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Corradia himself. It seems Celestia Impax have very beautiful handwriting, and she just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide. It was in the bear the whole time? Order! Witness, did you know about this? Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public, but I couldn't find it anywhere because it had already been taken by the killer. Everything's going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What's written on the note? That's right. At least that's what I think. That's what I would think. Now then, I believe it's only appropriate the contents of this note should be known. I can't stop you, can I? Went through so much just to get my hands on it. And I was going to burn it, for her sake. I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of this note aloud. Very well. And that's all Miss Impax had to say. And that's all she wrote. There is one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Engarde. Then, what? Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Oh, crap. Isn't that correct, witness? Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference. My word! Madame Engarde values above all else his refreshing like a spring breeze image, which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost. It's Engarde's fault that woman killed herself. And this time, he even went so far as to kill someone to stop him from revealing that. How terrible. What a selfish person. I guess there are slimeball lawyers out there who would defend creeps too. There is no margin for doubt here. Mr. DeKiller's client's goal was to obtain this suicide note, and the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with the note was found inside the defendant's house. It seems that we have come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives are entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone. How am I supposed to escape this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do. I know, I have to carry on and buy him some time. Okay, there are two deadly pieces of evidence. Figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of the situation through one of those. The gavel is already in the judge's hand. Phoenix, hurry! Suicide note or the figurine. Which one of these should I pursue? The suicide note.
Objection!
Please wait, Your Honor. Oh man, look at that lawyer. He's still going at it? It's like he doesn't care that he's trying to get a killer off the hook. I think Your Honor believes that Madame Engarde killed in order to obtain this note. Yes, that is correct. But that seems a little strange. In fact, I think there's a contradiction here. This note was hidden by Mr. Corradia until the night of the murder. If that's the case, I'd say that Madame Engarde could not have known what was written on this note. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Exactly. But I didn't think of it that way. That was terrible, and I thought it was rather strange. No one in their right mind would kill for a note without first knowing what it said. You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? He's just staring at us, bowing. That means we're... I believe a show of appreciation is in order. Huh? The defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. I would like to direct the court's attention to this. What is that? It is a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as means of spying. Spying? What the? I thought I had the spy camera in my possession. Madame Engarde and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weakness. And the victim, Juan Corradia, was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Mr. Engarde, or Madame Engarde. I suck at reading. Order! Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? Don't tell me you know about your client's spying activities. Well, sort of. Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright. I see you're confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I had the camera that was stuffed in the bear's eye. Yeah. But this camera that I have is not the same one. Last night, I searched the victim's house on a hunch, using this. Gumshoe's bug sweeper. By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera. Madame Engarde's fingerprints were on there? Well, Phoenix, looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? What am I supposed to say to that evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. Engarde learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along. He got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that. Hey, now what's that lawyer thinking? I don't know. Mommy, is that man the killer, the bad guy? Shh, stop, don't look at him. And the way he's sweating is just so, ew, nasty. Phoenix? Yes, Chief? Have you figured out what you're going to do next yet? What I'm going to do next? Does running away like a frightened child work? I know it seems like Mr. Edwards is very close to putting the lid on this case, but in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. Well, what is it, Mia? There's a piece of evidence that he really should investigate. Something he should investigate. I would really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item when he had the chance. Why are you speaking in a riddle all of a sudden? Yeah, we're supposed to be winning here, not second-guessing ourselves. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you? What is this piece of evidence that Mia's talking about? Can I figure out what it is and still needs to be looked at, or should I let it go? I have an objection, Your Honor. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright.
Objection!
Better? Your Honor, the defense has no intentions of letting this go so easily. You are beginning to sound desperate. That's just your imagination, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing. Hey, isn't that what I just said? So, you're telling me that I forgot something. You were so close, Mr. Edgeworth. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. That is Miss Impact's suicide note, right? Who knows? I mean, sure, the suicide note was found inside this bear, but this bear was in my possession until a few moments ago. Which means the handwriting on the suicide note has yet to be analyzed. Oh, so as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Impacts or not, has yet to be even remotely confirmed. But Mr. Wright, you can't seriously be suggesting, Mr. Wright, are you saying the suicide note is a fake? Miss Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. Engarde. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into this bear? How dare you? Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There is no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever. But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness's testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could have solved the puzzle is the witness herself. And that's like the fourth pair we've broken. Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could use it to frame Matt Engarde. I did no such thing. Right, if you're going to pronounce the suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution. That's enough. Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting on the suicide note? As the defense stated, the handwriting is yet to be analyzed. If that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where a verdict is impossible. Impossible. That's impossible! This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think I will physically be able to make it another day. I didn't want it to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and the defense further investigate. Handwriting analysis, my butt. That's just the lawyer trying to buy more time. Engarde is guilty. Look, any idiot can tell you that. I think we've reached the end of the line. Guilty, guilty, guilty. No, that's not a word I want to be hearing right now. 9 times over. What is that sound? It's Gumshoe. Hello, Gumshoe? What's with him? What's with that sigh? Where's Maya? What happened to the killer? He got away. What? I'm sorry, pal. I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry. I wish I had some way to make it up to you. I really do. Anyway, what's going on? We found his hideout, pal, but the two of them were already gone. This is terrible. I'm going to keep looking for them, pal. Don't you worry. I just need a little more time. But don't tell me we don't have any more time. Does this answer your question? Do you hear that? They're calling for his head. Mr. Wright, I can't for us to come this far and... Oh! What is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth. I can't do that. Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself? Yes, Your Honor. I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after. Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch! Mr. Edgeworth? Please, you've got to buy us some more time. Court is in session. I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying? Mr. Wright, this is a court of law. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but... I'm reluctant to do this. However, it appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow. This time, I really can't do anything. Court is now adjourned for the day. Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time. For what purpose? We can perform the necessary test on this piece of evidence in that time. But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes? I believe we can, Your Honor. But wouldn't it be better if we just adjourn for today and reconvene tomorrow? 30 minutes. Please, Your Honor. That's all I ask. That's all I am asking for. Please, Your Honor. Very well. Huh. At the prosecution's request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. But be advised that I will not allow another recess today. I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us. The court will now take its final recess of the day.